During the upcoming Passover holiday, practicing Jews are forbidden from eating leavened products like bread, which is known as chametz. Well, even though not everybody follows this practice, now the chief rabbinate of Israel is enforcing a strict chametz ban on all public entities, including hospitals. Joining us now on the subject is Rabbi Dov Halbertal, who is the former head of the office of the chief rabbi of Israel and founding rabbi of the Tel Aviv International Synagogue, Rabbi Ariel Konstantyn. All right, thank you both for joining us. Now, let's begin. What is the problem with a chametz ban? This is a Jewish state, right?
Yeah, it is a Jewish state, and I think on the one hand, it is important to color the Jewish entity as we stated with Jewish color, meaning that we want each country has their own culture, has their own traditions, and part of our tradition and our culture is our Jewish heritage. And to have certain things that color the national identity of the Jewish people is very important. And chametz is part of that concept that we bring together the Jewish people for 1 week. And I think it's one of the few things that I think we could say are not hurting the general public, that for 1 week we can do without leavened bread and then handle the matzah, because this gives so much color to our national identity.
At the same time, though, should, secular Jews, people who don't, perhaps practice this way during Pesach, be forced to be in an environment in which they're not allowed access to, leavened products?
I wouldn't use the word forced. It sounds like a mafia. As you said before, we are a Jewish state. We have to be proud with our Jewishness. And chametz is one of the.
But they're also. I would like to add too. I said that, but I did not mention obviously the 20% of people living in this country who are not Jewish.
I understand. You're not only the only one. I know that's nobody enforced. We are a Jewish state. The Rabbinate is part of the state. It's not some private place. And chametz is one of the strict prohibitions in Pesach. Very strict, and symbolizes a lot. The redemption, the diaspora, it symbolizes a lot. And publicly, at least publicly, we are supposed as a Jewish state to manage not to have chametz in public places. And also...
Well, I understand, hospitals don't want to lose their kosher certifications by serving Passover food on dishes that once served chametz, right? So that's kind of one of the reasons we're seeing hospitals say no chametz is allowed to enter our hospitals here, but we're not seeing other major institutions doing the same. Can the state go ahead and essentially ban the sale of chametz countrywide, and would that be fair?
And I think for certain things, in general, as an American, although I take the values of American civil liberties and personal rights to be able to live as you wish and live and let live as a very important value. And therefore, and I believe in general, when we establish laws that are religious law, that results in more antagonism and less observance of that law than if people come to it on their own with love and desire to connect. Because when there's a establishment dictating to them, there is a natural tendency to reject that establishment.
Well, right, which goes to why I use that term forced, because I guess it's the feeling of certain Jews perhaps who don't want to do that, and
No, not at all, not at all. I think I am also in some way liberal in the approach to non-religious people. But as a state and as a Jewish state, everybody of us has to understand, we have to understand that we are unique, and we have to be proud with our Jewishness.
Well, I think that's where the question comes in here.
And all those debates are coming out because of liberal, new liberal voices that came out only in our generation here. It was never like this. They were normal.
So that's why I'd like to discuss our final question. What the line is between appropriate cultural and religious preservation in this country. And obviously the religious, I guess, so-called coercion against secular and non-Jewish groups. Where is that line?
The line, I think the line is the public appeal. I mean, privately you can do whatever you want. Nobody enforced nobody. But publicly, the transportation in Shabbat, the public transportation, and the planes in Shabbat, and chametz in all over, the stores and the hospitals. And besides, I feel as a majority here in Israel, because all the traditional people, even non-religious, are are traditional. They want the tradition. I feel that I have to be respected. And for example, in hospital.
Well, that's an interesting thing, because then you could say, playing devil's advocate, obviously there are the people who are, not as religious and feel like they should be respected too, right? What is your take on this?
I think again, along the lines of what was just said, that in the public sphere there are certain things, if it doesn't in a severe way affect the general public, then I can understand that being part of the general culture, we can respect the minority while still promoting a majority culture. And for a week not to eat bread, I don't think is hurting. Maybe Tantreza on Shabbat is something on a weekly basis that could be more of a challenge to the general public, especially people of lower socioeconomic situation that need to get from place to place. That could be more of a difficult situation. But for a week not to eat bread, I think people can do without. They can add.
Well, Ramat Gan Safari, the animals are eating matzah this week, so they're at least
we can all handle it.
Handling it, right? All right. Thank you both for joining us.